Hello students, today we will see the chemical reactions of the haloalkanes. So the chemical reactions of the haloalkanes, they are classified into chemical reactions of haloalkanes. They are divided into nucleophilic substitution reactions, nucleophilic substitution reactions. Then we have elimination reactions. Then we have reaction with metals. So first we will see a nucleophilic substitution reactions here. So when an alkyl halide is treated with a nucleophile, there is a substitution of a halogen atom by the nucleophile, and as the reaction is initiated by a nucleophile, hence it is called as a nucleophilic substitution reaction here. So in an alkyl halide, we have got carbon and a halogen here. So as the halogen is more electronegative in nature, a shared pair of electron, it moves towards a halogen atom, hence it has got a slightly negative charge, and this carbon has got a slightly positive charge here. So a carbon gets, or carbon develops a slightly positive charge, and the halogen, it develops a slightly negative charge here. So when a nucleophile, it is treated with the alkyl halide, this nucleophile, it attacks the positive carbon atom here, and there is a breakage of carbon and a halogen bond, and there is a formation of nucleophile and a carbon bond. So there is a breakage of carbon and a halogen bond, and there is a formation of carbon and a nucleophile, and here a nucleophile, it forms bond with the carbon, and this halogen is a leaving group here. So let me take an example. So in general, alkyl halide, when it is treated with a nucleophile, there is a replacement or substitution of the halogen here, and a formation of nucleophile and alkyl group takes place, and a halogen is a leaving group here. So what is a nucleophile here? You know about the alkyl halide. So nucleophile, they are the electron rich species. So Cl minus, OH minus, Cn minus, H2O, NH3, all these are example for the nucleophile where they are the electron rich species. Now let me explain with you with some of the examples here. So when an alkyl halide is treated with sodium hydroxide, so there is a formation of the alcohol. This OH, it replaces or substitutes the halogen, and it forms an alcohol, and there is a formation of NaX. So let me take an example. Ethyl bromide, when it is treated with an NaOH, there is a formation of an alcohol, and So same way, when an alkyl halide is treated with KOH, here also there is a formation of an alcohol and we get KX. Let me take a next example here. So when an alkyl halide is treated with the water. So water is a neutral molecule. Because of that, a tertiary alkyl halides, they undergo this reaction here. So here also I can write H2O as HOH. So OH is a nucleophile which replaces or substitutes a halogen, and there is a HX is formed. So let me take an example here. Plus H2O so tertiary butyl alcohol is and HCl. So let me take a next example here. When an alkyl halide is treated with the sodium alkoxide, so here ether is formed. And this is called as Williamson's synthesis. Let me take an example here. So when I treat ethyl bromide with the sodium ethoxide, we are going to get a ether here, diethyl ether. So it is called as Williamson's synthesis. So when an ethyl bromide is treated with the sodium ethoxide, we are going to get a diethyl ether and NADR. So next we will see when an alkyl halide is treated with the ammonia here. So when an alkyl halide is treated with the ammonia, so we are going to get a primary amine here. So let me take an example here. Ethyl bromide, when it is treated with the ammonia, we are going to get a primary amine here. So the amine, so if the primary amine is in excess, then alkylation of this amine takes place and there is a formation of a secondary amine as well as a tertiary amine here. So if the alkyl halide is taken is in excess, then alkylation of a primary amine takes place and it is again treated with alkyl halide and it forms a secondary amine. If the alkyl halide is in excess, then again when it is treated with the alkyl halide, again it forms a tertiary alkyl halide here. Sorry, it forms a secondary amines, and if it is in excess, again it forms a tertiary amines. So this amine, when it is heated in a sealed tube for 373 Kelvin, then a primary amine, then a secondary amine and a tertiary amine is formed if the alkyl halide taken is in excess. So when an alkyl halide is treated with the potassium cyanide, then there is a formation of alkyl cyanide here. So let me take an example here. So a cyanide, it substitutes a halogen and we are going to get a alkyl cyanide here. So if we treat a alkyl halide with a silver cyanide, then we are going to get alkyl isocyanide. So ethyl bromide treated with a silver cyanide, we are going to get ethyl isocyanide. So here, when alkyl halide is treated with the cyanide, potassium cyanide, we got alkyl cyanide here. The same, when an alkyl halide is treated with the silver cyanide, we are going to get a alkyl isocyanide. This is because a cyanide is an ambivalent nucleophile. Because of this, here we get the alkyl cyanide and here we are going to get a alkyl isocyanide. Because here both the different atoms, carbon and nitrogen, both can donate the pair of electrons here. Here a carbon-carbon bond is formed. Here nitrogen and a carbon bond is formed. Hence here it forms or it gives a product as isocyanide. Here we get a product as a cyanide here because cyanide is an ambivalent nucleophile. Potassium cyanide, it is predominantly ionic in nature. It ionizes and it forms the cyanide ion here. This cyanide acts as a nucleophile and it attacks through the carbon atom. Hence, it forms a cyanide here. So, the AgCN, it is covalent in nature and it does not ionize easily. Hence, lone pair of electrons on the nitrogen, they act as a nucleophile and the attack takes place through a nitrogen. Hence, a isocyanide is formed here. Nitro